Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to War Thunder. For today's video, we are going to be playing the new American premium heavy tank, the T58. Now, I'm not gonna have a super big intro for this, just to say that this is a 155mm gun which reloads in 2.6 seconds with a basically impenetrable turret. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about this tank. You can make your own conclusion but just by hearing that. But yeah, it's very good, and I would definitely recommend if you have the money to spare. So for the first game, we are on Maginot Line in the T58. I know I am very late to this, basically 2 weeks late, but I've been busy. So yeah, here we go. We are going to do the video at least. On Maginot Line, I'm gonna take the T58 to the center of the map. If you watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that I tend to go towards B on this map, because it's a very strong position you can take afterwards if you manage to win at the center. So we're gonna stay on this ridge, use the quick reload and very powerful gun to just start clearing out enemies on the other side of the ridge so we can eventually push up in towards B. So we're gonna make our way into B in a attempt to capture it, taking a few shots on the way, but they do basically no damage, taking out a Gepard on the way. Now I am hearing a single guy, a T-55, and he just appears, so we're gonna kill his driver and gunner, gonna track him and then wait for a bit to let his gunner come back, and then we're gonna kill him off. I did see 2 marks on the minimap here at B, so I know there can be one more guy. I currently don't hear him, but I was aware when I pushed in here that there was a possibility of another tank being here, since I saw him on the minimap earlier. And what do you know, when we push around the corner we see him, a USH 405. A very dangerous little car, basically making no sound, so that's why we couldn't hear him. But a very dangerous tank, and yeah, I'm glad that we got him out of the way. And now we're sitting on B, but nothing's happening, so that means there is one more guy here. So we're gonna be patient, no need to just rush out, and we spot him. It is a M41. Shoot him, kill his breach, and that means we can just follow him and kill him. But he does pop smoke, so we kinda lose him, but since his breach is out, we can just follow him around until we find him and just eliminate him. And with the M41 taken care of, we are going to start moving up towards the hill at CF5. Now on the way to our new target area, we first see a few helicopters and a STRV-103. First shot on the SRV, I aim a bit too high, but I was aiming for the ammunition at the back. The second shot was just to keep him in place so that he couldn't turn and engage us. And the third shot unfortunately didn't manage to kill all 3 of his crew, so he's gonna stay alive for now. We do want to be careful. We wanna hide in between the buildings to not expose ourselves to the helicopters unnecessarily. And we're just gonna wait for our ready rack to come back. Fortunately, a Feroz 6 finishes off the STRV-103, and with that we can start moving up towards the hill after we get a few more rounds in our ready rack, since you don't really want to be pushing too aggressively with basically no rounds. Second shot, we find another STRV, take out the transmission and engine, and now since we are basically in the open, we just want to rush forward as quickly as we possibly can to get into some cover. Now this PCH 2000, no idea what his idea was, but he got taken out again by another friendly. So we're gonna keep going, rushing towards the cover while waiting for more ammunition to get shoved into our autoloader. After having some rounds in, we are going to start peeking over the ridge in order to start eliminating guys exiting their spawn. Starting off with a BMP-1, can be pretty dangerous since he has heat and 80 gems, so important we get him out. The second tank we see is a T-44, but we are not really going to be able to eliminate him since we don't have any rounds in our ready rack, so we're just gonna hit this driver and then we are forced to back off since we can't really engage any targets in the current situation. So I do decide to eventually leave the position I obtained, and that is for multiple reasons, but the big and major reason is that if you look at the minimap, I basically don't have any support left on my left flank, and the enemies are starting to push in towards A and B, which means if they get the hill which the SRV currently is on, I'm basically gonna be squished in from two sides, and that means death. So we are gonna start by taking out both the STRV and the T-44. And while I was doing that, a Leopard 1 just comes up and flanks us. But luckily for us, our turret just eats it. So we're gonna stay here for a 20-second repair, hoping he doesn't push forward. And if he decides to push forward before our repair is done, we're gonna hopefully, well, we're gonna take a risk and fire, hopefully letting a round off, which we managed to do. So now I have 2 rounds left and nothing in the ready rack basically, and I'm basically stuck here. So we need to quickly get back to B to start replenishing ammunition. While replenishing ammunition, a Soviet SPA is starting to push towards us. Luckily for us, we do have heat loaded and we can quite easily take care of him as well. Now we basically have a few spawn points before we can get a nuke, so we're just gonna rush forward and see if we can find anything before the game runs out. But unfortunately it only seems to be basically air targets left, which we can't really do much about in a T-58. So we're just gonna keep running, trying to stay alive for the entire rest of the match. And the game does end with us on top, killing 10 enemy targets and capturing 1 zone. So with 10 kills total, we earn a total of 17,000 research points and 167,000 silver lines. So for the second game of today, we are on the map Carpathians, which is probably the map I hate the most basically. So I'm actually surprised we got a good game on here. So we're gonna have a very good shot on this turn 3. And turn 3 is a very dangerous tank, very dangerous, so I'm very thankful we got him out of the way quickly, because he can really fuck us up. So we're gonna head quickly towards C in an attempt to capture it, because on the map Carpathians you wanna get towards the other side of the town as quickly as possible for multiple reasons. First off, you have very good cover on the other side of the map. You also have amazing sightlines of all the roads the enemies can take to come and reinforce the town. So you want to get out there as quickly as possible to stop them from actually getting in towards the town, because town fighting is always more difficult and dangerous than just fighting the enemy when the enemy is in a open field and you have a lot of cover. So you want to get there as quickly as possible. And this is what I mean. The enemy has no cover when driving up towards the town, so you want to get out of the town and into the area where the town meets the open plains, so you can start to shit on the enemy team. Because if you do, they will never be able to basically get to C unless they manage to kill you. And if you play it smart, they basically never will be able to kill you unless they come and bomb you from CAS. So it's a very strong position to hold. And if you have laser rangefinders, you can basically shit on everybody going towards A and B as well. It can be a bit difficult to kill guys going towards A when you don't have a laser rangefinder, but it is definitely still possible. But I'm not gonna waste a lot of rounds on this, because I'm not really confident I can hit them all that much. I'd rather just stay here and defend this area. So killing off a Rakaten and a Tam, we are going to start heading back in towards the town because it seems the enemy have come from a B and have started to capture C. So we're gonna start heading back into the town to retake capture point. And when I pulled up here, I was so confused because the enemy just left and I don't hear him, and I was afraid he was just gonna sit somewhere and ambush me when I got to the capture point. So I was kinda scared to go on, but I just decided to go on because if you look at the minimap, our team is losing very bad. So we're gonna have to get all the capture points we can get as quickly as possible. So we're gonna stay here, watch out for enemies, and then probably head back toward the area we were before. So heading back towards the same area we were before, we intercept a Type 16 and he just gets one shot, and yeah, I mean he's not gonna survive a 155 heat round to him at all, so quite an easy kill, but again a very dangerous tank since he can just go through us like butter as well. But now we're just gonna stay and basically defend C as much as we can because our teammate just captured B and hopefully they're gonna keep it captured, and with 2 caps against 1 we are eventually gonna win. So my plan here again was to just stay in this general area defending C as long as I possibly could until CAS or a enemy just shits on me. Now since nothing much was happening there, we're gonna start to look in towards the middle again. See a Type 87 RCV, pretty easy kill. We also see on the minimap that C again is getting captured. So we're gonna send one shot towards this M48 and then look in towards the middle, because if you listen closely you can hear a enemy tank approaching us from the rear. So we're gonna just get ready to absolutely shit on him once he turns the corner. And here comes that on the Type 74, and we're gonna start heading back to try and retake C for the 3rd time. We do actually manage to retake C again, but when we turn the corner, a STB2 managed to absolutely delete us, unfortunately. Now getting back towards C, you actually hear a pretty big tank to our right. So my plan here was just to sit on the corner, wait for him to come around and then just absolutely delete him with my 155 heat. So we place ourselves on the corner. Looking back at it, I could have turned in my hull to just minimize the area showing, and we shoot the M55. But a 203mm shell is just gonna absolutely delete us, so unfortunately that was the end of the 2nd game. We do actually win the game though, killing 8 targets, earning a total of 171,000 silver lions and 18,000 research points. So the T58, is it any good? Do you get it, or are there better options? Now the T58, just speaking on the tank in general, it's a very good tank. The gun is fantastic, the reload rate is absolutely disgusting, and the armor, surprisingly, is very good. There's not much that can go through this because this is very volumetric, very angled, so it can be quite difficult to penetrate it from the front. And the hull, again, very good hull. So armor, very good, nothing too amazing, but it is definitely good. And the firepower of the tank is just absolutely fantastic. Mobility is decent as well. So just looking at the tank in general, it's a very good tank. A3 though, can be quite difficult if you get in an up tier, but it's definitely you can definitely make it work on A3 and above, but it can be a bit difficult. But in a down tier, if you manage to get this in a down tier, you're just gonna be wrecking the entire team. So definitely a tank I would recommend, but again, not maybe the first vehicle I would recommend, and definitely not for a newer player. I'm gonna say this again, if you want a new premium, the T29 is definitely my recommendation. It's a very good tank. and I would definitely recommend the T29 if you're going for a first American premium. But if you want a new, more interesting premium, the T58 is definitely a good option. So definitely a strong recommendation from me to try and pick this tank up when it goes on sale. But that is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.